Hey now, everyone. It's Steve Severs for Bionic Buzz. I'm joined by special co-host DJ Rossstar. We're interviewing Letterkills, who are back together. What a great band back in the day. I used to love seeing on Vans Warped Tour. I guess first off, man, why now, guys? What happened?
Where you been? Matt's on mute again.
In the worst. Sorry, guys. I've been on mute for 20 years. And,
yeah, there you go.
So it's time to unmute. And in the words of Rage Against the Machine, there's no greater place than here, no greater time than now. And so we're ready. We just kind of to be a little bit more specific, we were really wanting all 5 of the original members to come back together. We've been trying for several years now to get back. And once we kind of realized that wasn't going to happen or wasn't going to be possible, myself, Tim, and our bass player Kyle, 3 of our core original members, decided we wanted to keep going and got the other guys' blessings to kind of come back and make it happen. So we're here.
Did you stay friends this entire 20 years? Matt's
we
on
did.
mute again.
Yeah.
We haven't. I know I haven't always been the best at keeping in touch with everyone, but we've stayed in contact over the years, and various levels, and we had a few text message threads going on in the last several years.
Did you know that this whole time people were waiting for you to come back? Have you known through the years that people were just sitting around saying, where'd they go? Where are Letterkills?
Yeah.
Honestly, I had no idea.
Wow. Matt's still on mute, by the way. I don't know what's happening on his side. There he is.
Yeah, sorry. I'm using the old space bar.
Yeah, did people come to you every couple years and say, Matt, where's Letterkills? Like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you go back out there?
Yeah, especially with like other bands, like friends that are in other bands. And, whether they've been around for a long time, like the Used, it hasn't really stopped. Story of the Year took, I think they took like several years in between tours. And, definitely like our friends' bands have like asked like why we're not joining the action and things like that. And, we'll get messages, I'll get DMs and Instagram and things like that. Like, what happened to you guys? Where'd you go? The craziest thing is because of the resurgence of, our genre, I get DMs now from kids that, are discovering us for the first time and didn't know that we weren't around or didn't know that we, were from 2004. And so that's really fun and exciting, especially when we talk about writing new music and putting new music out.
Well, what happened back in 2004? I mean, you guys released an amazing album, The Bridge, and then you guys kind of, broke up,
I don't even remember a goodbye letter or a farewell show.
Yeah, that's really how it felt for us too. We tried to we were essentially pulled off the road about 6 or 7 months into the Bridge's touring cycle, so that we could go write a follow-up record. And so within the band, we really didn't feel like that we were ready to go write another record. We were still excited on the release of The Bridge, and we were still ready to keep touring that record. But nonetheless, we went back to try to write a follow-up record, and then it was at that point where it just felt like nothing was really coming together. And it took about a year and change for us to kind of just eventually, I think, get discouraged and just kind of realize that we had other big life things that we needed to attend to. We just couldn't I think we recognize that it's not happening right now. And so we didn't really break up. We just sort of went our separate ways so that we could attend to our personal lives. And so it definitely felt like it was incomplete.
Gotcha.
And now you've had a lot more life experience. There's probably different things to write about that you would have no idea would even have happened to you 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
I mean, even rehearsing like our album again, getting ready to play shows, like the lyrics are hitting so different when I think of things like one of the lines in I don't think I know because I wrote them, but like in Carry You, there's a line where it says 20 years to pass away. you know, I'm like hearing that line, I'm like,
Wow.
what the heck, you know, and
Crazy.
you know, and then in
Wow.
time marches on, same kind of element. Like essentially in that song, it's like this confession of like, I wasn't ready for what's at hand right now. And you know, the way I've articulated it was, it kind of feels, even though it was like, it felt like incomplete to us too. Right now it feels really appropriate. Like right now it feels really like the right thing to do. As if we needed that time to kind of grow into what we were as a band, which is really weird to think about. But that's how it feels. It feels like we kind of grew into our music a little bit.
Nice. Well, before we dive into the new music, I want to go back to some of my favorite tracks from your album. I have to start off with Lights Out, man. I mean, that song was so much fun, especially live, you know?
Absolutely.
Stories putting that song together or anything? Or
Tim, talk about that, because that was essentially the first song I think we had.
Oh, really? Wow.
That was from the very first batch of songs. So another precursor to Letterkills was a little acoustic project that I had with an old friend, and we had written a version of that song, at least the structure and the chords. We had done an acoustic version of that, slowed down, and when we long story short, like evolved and became an actual rock band from the acoustic project, the other partner leaving and moving on, bringing Matt in and whatnot, we still had skeletons of old songs, and that was one that we reassembled, put new lyrics, new concepts on that, and the riffs, I think the riffs were there, but we just had to kind of like fix them up. And you know, that song has really grown on me over time. Since it was from the original batch, it wasn't my favorite at the time, but I did like that the riff was somewhat interesting, and I did like that the you know, what I think about is that that big Papa Roach single that has the so it kind of had like that element to me, sort of like a little bit of a memorable tricky guitar line, and so I thought that was cool. But yeah, now I really like that song, but for years I would tell people just skip the first track, you know, and don't judge us on the first
That's
track.
amazing.
But now it's really grown on me. I really like that song now.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I have to say, after all these years, have you ever heard one of your tracks somewhere that you wouldn't expect? Like maybe you were like, you know, on a road trip and heard it on the radio, or like in a grocery store. Has there been anywhere that you've ever heard Letterkills and you said, I can't believe we're being played in this environment?
I've got two that I think of immediately. Is like the first time was actually watching the NBA All-Star game. I think it was 2005 on TV, and hearing it not on the TV but in the arena.
Wow.
Like while people were like, it was like halftime or something, and so that was like really cool and a fun like experience. The other one was is Don't Believe.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then the other isn't a song, but it's our album. And I was in another band after Letterkills, and we were on tour, and we stopped at a truck stop, and they had a like an end cap spinning like CD section, and it was a classic rock section, and it had our album in that classic rock section. And so that was also just kind of like how in the world did this happen?
Yeah, I heard, I wasn't there in person, but a friend of mine texted me, this must be in the late 2000s, texted me that they had heard our song played at an NBA game as well. So I didn't get to hear that for myself.
Fans in the NBA arena, whoever runs it.
Well,
that's awesome.
That was kind of like our goal too, and it still is our goal to write the kind of music that they would play, you know, like in a professional sports game. Like you always hear like the intro to Welcome to the Jungle, you know, you always hear like a few seconds of Thunderstruck, you know. So we always wanted to write something that they could use for the same purpose in a professional sports arena.
That's awesome. So you guys are working on new music. Are you guys going to be doing singles, an EP, album, or don't know yet?
Yeah, so all things are on the table for us. Right now we got a single ready to come out July 21st called Right Where We Belong. And after that, we hope to release another single this fall potentially, and then work on a full-length record for next year. That's our goals. We would like to follow up the bridge with an actual full-length. You know,
Nice.
we're still old school in our music, at least as from a fan perspective. So we like the idea of albums. I know, you know, things have changed a lot, and we'll still, you know, we're trying to do a couple singles right now, but we still want to we would love to do a full-length album again and follow up the bridge.
Well, I love about albums is you never know what track people are gonna find out like or something. But if you just release the singles and it's just like, okay, you know, so I still respect fans that still do it. I understand fans who don't, you know, unfortunately in this social media digital age, you know, singles is where it's at and EPs, but I still love old school rock albums.
I think if you're going to put singles out, I think you need to be consistent. So like Blink-182 put out Edging and then they didn't put out anything else, and they went on a whole tour where they're only playing that one new song and then all hits. I feel like that's kind of like, I feel like people are hyped up about the new record and now there's like nothing, you know?
Nothing.
So from like that perspective, I would rather have a new song every month at least if you're going to lead it to it that way.
I like double albums, you know, like the double album concept has always just been so cool. A lot of times when it's released, it's a surprise. So you get more of your favorite band than you thought you were going to get.
Oh yeah. We're getting a farewell record from Sum 41 and it's going to be a double record.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's cool. I didn't know it's gonna be double. That's sweet.
Oh yeah, it's I think it's called Heaven and Hell, and so one side is supposed to be pop punk and one side is supposed to be more the metal stuff.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
So tell us about the show coming up. That must be exciting. Your first time back on stage, maybe at least for one of you in a long time. I know Matt, you said you had a band after Letterkills, so you've been on stage somewhat more recently.
Yeah, so we're pumped. This is like, you know, like I said, 20 years in the making. We're ready for it. We're, at least for me, I'm trying to get back in shape, you know, stage ready, to be able to do everything I want to do. I mean, you know, we don't necessarily submit to the fact that we're older or anything like that. We kind of just say, you know, who are we now and how do we put on the best show possible, and what does that look like? And so I'm super pumped on it, and getting to play with Dead American and you know, Cove being a part of that is a big deal for us, and just our connections back to Sayus and then Bullets and Octane as well. Their frontman is actually our new drummer, Gene Lewis.
Oh wow.
And he is
double duty.
Double duty. We split it up. They're gonna play first, and then he can take a little breather before we go on. But he is an insane drummer and just an amazing musician all around, an artist. And so that's gonna be a huge bonus for us. I mean, we feel like we're coming back stronger than we were. You know.
Who is the new fifth member? Because you mentioned that only 3 of you are coming back from the old school.
Yeah, so currently we have four band members. Gene is the newest addition, and then we have a buddy of ours that used to play with me in the wedding. His name's Cody Driggers. He's not a member as of right now, but he's playing shows with us.
See, you said shows. What's the next show?
There's the teaser right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting.
That's cool.
Are
So
you
the
guys
show
looking just to do music festivals or actually a tour or something, or don't know yet?
Timmy, you take it?
Yeah, we would love to get on some good festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got our eyes peeled for that, and looking for those opportunities. We are also looking at some opportunities that involve like, you know, shorter runs as far as touring goes. We're all, you know, within other careers as well that we have to balance, and so the touring thing, we probably at this point wouldn't do like the touring like the old days, you know.
Yeah, not doing the whole Warped Tour again.
Yeah, so we're trying to reimagine what that looks like going forward, and you know, we're talking about putting together strings of dates. Yeah.
Are you going to play the whole record live since you only have one record and then the one new song?
Out of necessity, yes.
No,
Absolutely.
maybe some covers thrown into there. Or there's no time for cover songs.
We'll see. No time for cover songs. I mean, we're gonna try to put together the best shows we can, and whatever that looks like. And you know, we kind of think of like all the additional things that rock bands do that, or some do, you know, and we try to think through like, you know, how can we enhance songs, give people new experiences, you know, that goes along with the record, so that when they're listening to the record, they have a bonus when they come see us live, and it's not just the same as the record. Exactly.
Awesome.
For sure. Anything else, Steve, before we go?
No, dude, everyone check out their social media links. We got them down below. And hopefully we'll be seeing you at a show sometime in the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're stoked.
First one's coming up in a month and a day. So you guys have to go back and practice, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Good
Well,
catching
you guys
up. I
take
hope
your time to talk to me. And like I said, I'm so excited you guys are back together.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
dude.
much.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.